And then if you have a kid like mine who are in extracurricular activities, my kids don't just stay home after school. That's another reason why I'm so tired. My kids are very active individuals. We're going to games. When my son was young, we went to football games, basketball games. He was in lacrosse. He did so many activities. My daughter, she's a competition cheer. That shit is $2,500. We're going to practice every day, soccer, like ballet. That stuff costs. It's not cheap. But fortunately, I have, people who, especially now, who understand that there's no issue with that. But I'm not understanding how it's just not adding up. Again, this is not talking about the exceptional man, the man who's making boohoo money and the girl's trying to get with him because they're trying to get a check from child support. No. I'm talking about the everyday people who are raising children on an average income, doing average things. That's what I'm talking about.
So I just want to run a question by the panel so we can actually kind of establish a couple things. And what do you guys think that the men don't want their kids on the whole? And I'm talking majority. Do you think that they don't want their kid?
I think that no, so we're not going to say the majority because we know majority of people, men, are doing what they have to do for their children. I'm not going to say that. I do think that there are a select group of men who, the reason why they have a problem with paying that fee because they have no clue how much it costs to raise a kid because they never have them. Okay, it's like a nanny. Like, okay, she got the kid. I'll see them every other weekend. And they have no clue to what it really, and even when you go every other weekend, it's at grandma's house, so that's just a different person. We're not talking about the man who's very, very, very involved. So those guys, yeah, it kind of shows because men who are involved with the kids, they show up, right?
Okay, then that leads me to my next question. If that is true, why are women having sex and choosing to have babies with half a fucking man?
So that is, you know what? This is the thing. Let me just tell you this, AD. Women, and I've mentioned this before. Women that their heart until a woman put their heart to the side, their heart's gonna get you in trouble, right? Once you got a woman's heart, she's just dumb. Her senses just go out the door. Everybody see it except for her, right? She feel like, no, he can change. He's changed. She sees a change, man. Then we just had what was the woman who went to the house where the guy killed all these people and then he ended up murdering her? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see the visit in? Okay, never mind. I don't want to get to that. Anyway, women have this thing to know a woman who is just not out there. When you get into a woman's heart, we know that a woman would go above and beyond for you, right? These women lose their freaking minds when their hearts are involved. They really do. They're not thinking, oh, he's got 3 kids by somebody else. You don't think you're going to be the 4th baby mama? Like, let's look at this. You think that he won't do the same thing to you, and he's been with 3 other people and he did that to them, right? I don't know. Not every woman is bright. They're not all that bright. I mean, some great intellectual, but we're assuming that everybody is the brightest, star in the sky, and that ain't the truth.
Yeah, just to add to that, AP, I think one of the things there was a few things I wanted to say. I think that one, we're talking about a specific demographic of people that, for one reason, I hate to bang on this again, Black men don't really get married. So if a woman wants to have multiple kids, I'm not surprised when she might have that second kid with another guy, because that first guy probably didn't marry her. 75% of Black kids are born out of wedlock. So I understand, but I understand what you're saying. Some of them are, to your point, verbatim, having children with with a guy where it was not necessarily a stable relationship. That guy was not committed. We're also talking about, in some cases, situations where there are two sexually irresponsible people. And that's where I was kind of pushing back a little bit on the child support thing, where it's like the guy that you described didn't sound like he could afford to be a father, specifically alone. Because, under marriage, it helps to build wealth because you're doing things under one roof versus having two different house notes. But like I said, we're talking about a specific subset of people who are not necessarily sexually responsible from both ends. There are a lot of guys, we can admit to this. We don't necessarily live this experience, but there's a lot of guys, when the opportunity permits, they don't see a future with that woman. But if there's an opportunity to have unprotected sex with them, they're taking that penitentiary chance. And that's extremely irresponsible. And a lot of those guys are the same dudes crying about child support when they could have prevented it.
I was going to say that I think that most men do want their kids, but I also think that most men don't want the full-time responsibility of having their kids. And that's a big difference. I think it's a lot easier writing a check each month and then having weekend time. Like, you can be a great parent for 2 days out of the week. And a lot of times that is what happens, right? Just from what I've seen and just kind of based on the stats, a lot of times, like, you hear men complain about saying they automatically get custody, but no, a lot of men, they say, don't even ask for custody when and the ones that do is a high percentage of those that actually get at least.
Is she breaking up just for me, or is she mistaken? You're breaking up. Can you go out and come back in? And we'll let you go back. Yeah. Sorry about that, y'all. But go yeah.
To AP's point, I just want to. I mean to say this. I kind of understand what you're saying about, like, the plight of the guy who's paying child support. He never married the woman. He doesn't know where this money's going. If he got married to the woman, maybe he would have at least got to see from a period of time while they were married, in the event that they got divorced. But maybe to reach across the aisle, maybe there should be a little bit of financial transparency. You can't, like, itemize it and say, hey, she ended up saving, going under her budget. Give me that back. But if you want to know where it went to a certain high level degree, sure. I mean, and I think that's where the child support, they're trying to move it to. They're trying to do stuff in the cloud. They're trying to do stuff through apps. They're trying to be able to try to provide some type of transparency. But listen, it all comes with sexual responsibility. Stop having unprotected sex with women that you don't see a future with, and then you can have more control of your life. Any one of us guys, if we were sexually irresponsible, we could be in that situation with, I've never even lived with this woman. Now I'm paying child support. I don't know where that money's going to. I want to be sexually responsible so I don't have to put myself in that position.